Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most powerful yet often invisible engines of the modern web. We're talking about the PHP framework, Symfony.
So, let me start with a question for you. What on earth could a massive content management system like Drupal, another super popular framework like Laravel, and a high-fashion powerhouse like Vogue Paris possibly have in common? I mean, they seem like they're from completely different worlds, right? Well, they all share the same digital backbone.
And that backbone is Symfony. At its core, Symfony is really two things at once. First, it's a full-fledged framework you can use to build a website. But maybe even more importantly, it's also a collection of individual reusable libraries or components that other projects can just grab and use. And yeah, it's been free and open source since day one, way back in 2005.
So why did someone need to build this in the first place? What problem was it trying to solve? Well, that gets us to its main goal: to help developers build things faster and, frankly, better.
You see, the whole idea behind Symfony was to stop developers from reinventing the wheel on every single project. It's all about getting rid of those tedious, repetitive coding tasks. But it's not just about moving fast. It's also about building really solid enterprise-level applications, all while giving developers complete and total control over how everything is configured.
To pull that off, Symfony did something that was kind of revolutionary for the PHP world at the time. Let's look at what makes it tick, this idea of reusable components. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like they're the Lego bricks of modern programming.
Instead of being one giant, monolithic piece of code where everything is tangled together, Symfony is designed to be a set of powerful, independent parts. It's like having a toolbox where every single tool does one job, but does that one job exceptionally well. And this is where the magic happens. A developer can just reach in and grab a single component, let's say the one for handling URLs called routing, and use just that one piece in their project. Or they can take a whole bunch of these components and snap them together to build a complete custom application. This approach is so flexible and so powerful that other huge projects like Drupal and Laravel actually build their entire frameworks right on top of Symfony's components.
And really, this quote just says it all. These components have become so essential and so widely used that they're now considered the fundamental building blocks for a huge chunk of the entire PHP ecosystem.
Okay, so we get the how it works, but what about the who that's using it? Let's take a look at the real-world impact, because the scale of Symfony's adoption is, well, it's absolutely massive.
Just take a second and let that number sink in. 34 billion downloads. This isn't some niche tool for a handful of experts. This is a foundational piece of technology that's being used at an incredible scale all across the world.
And behind those billions of downloads is a huge active community. We're talking over 600,000 developers who use, contribute to, and support Symfony. That creates this incredible pool of knowledge and pretty much guarantees the project is always being tested, improved, and pushed forward.
And here's the proof in the pudding. It's not just small sites. You have giants like Drupal and Laravel. You have the video sharing platform Dailymotion, one of the biggest dating sites in the world, Meetic, and even iconic brands like Vogue Paris. All of them are trusting their entire platforms to run on Symfony.
Now, that kind of trust, especially from big companies, doesn't happen by accident. Symfony is specifically designed for long-term stability, which makes it a really smart, strategic choice for any serious business.
Think about it. For any big company, chaos is the enemy. They need technology that's stable, that's predictable, and that isn't going to force them into some unexpected, expensive upgrade. And that exact philosophy is baked right into Symfony's DNA.
And here's how they deliver on that promise of stability. Symfony has a super strict, predictable release schedule. A new version comes out every 6 months, like clockwork, one in May, one in November. It's so regular that businesses can actually plan their entire development roadmaps around it with confidence.
This schedule also gives developers a really important choice. The standard releases get support for 8 months, which is perfect for teams that want the absolute latest features. But every 2 years, they release a long-term support version, or LTS, and these versions get bug fixes and security patches for a full 3 years. This is the rock-solid stability that big corporations absolutely depend on. So let's just quickly sum up the strategic advantages here. With Symfony, you're getting guaranteed long-term support for that enterprise-level stability. You get a totally transparent security process, you have a predictable schedule you can set your watch to, and on top of all that, it's released under the super flexible MIT license, which gives businesses the freedom to do pretty much whatever they want with it.
So we've seen how Symfony evolved from just a tool to help people code faster into the fundamental Lego bricks for a huge part of the web. It manages to combine incredible flexibility for developers with the kind of stability that global companies can bet on, which really just leaves one final question. With all that power and reliability, could Symfony be the perfect foundation for your next big idea?